Do you want to know what the 10 best places are for photos at Daytona for the Rolex 24? Well, if you do, you're in the right place, as I'm going to show you. So let's jump right into it. Spot number 1, grandstands, race start. This spot and this shot are definitely one of the best shots you can get at a racetrack, or one of the shots you need to get at a racetrack. And that's, as the flag goes green, all the cars come flying towards you across the line. And to get this one, I was at the grid walk. I went straight to the end of the pit lane. You'll see on the photo that I have up, you go straight to the end of the pit lane, and there will be gates that you can enter the grandstands from. Go through those gates, up the stairs. I went up to the second level. I believe it was the second level, right up near the front, right up near the fence of the second level. And you'll be able to just make sure that you clear the fence, make sure that the whole checkered line is visible above the fence. I shot at about 400 millimeters. It was not quite tight enough, so I had to crop it a little bit, but it worked great for me. And it's a shot that, really conveys the beginning of the race and one of the only shots you can get of the start-finish line. Spot number 2, International Horseshoe. So I have this one here as the entry to the International Horseshoe, but really the whole International Horseshoe is brilliant. The entry is particularly good, but exit is good, especially if you go around to the other side near the grandstands. You can shoot through the fence and get cars going head-on straight through the International Horseshoe. That's a great shot. That's also where I got one of my favorite shots of the race, one of the most emotional shots of the race for me. That's where I got it from. The International Horseshoe is a brilliant place to shoot from all weekend. There's always action there, there's always excitement, and there's so many good photo opportunities. Spot number 3, West Horseshoe at sunset. So the entry to the West Horseshoe is definitely one of the best places you can go during sunset. It was where I shot all my sunset photos, and I absolutely loved it the whole time. The lighting was brilliant. The way that the sun shone was brilliant. And there's a couple different spots you can shoot from. You can shoot from a little bit further back, as you can see on the image. If you just follow along from the International Horseshoe, just follow along the fence line, you'll find some great spots up like after the slight curve, but before the horseshoe. You'll find some great spots along there to shoot panning shots of the cars at sunset. Then if you go a little bit further along, you can shoot farther through the fence as the cars are going away from you, hitting the apex at the West Horseshoe. And that's a great shot as well. You can get the sunset in the sky as well as the taillights from the cars and the cars just going. But overall, a great spot for both panning and static shots. I absolutely loved it. They were some of my favorite shots of the race weekend. Spot number 4, Ferris wheel. Can you really go to Daytona and not grab this shot? This is, of course, the Ferris wheel shot. And to get it, you'll be going back to the International Horseshoe, and you'll be going kind of between where the garages are and where the racetrack is. There's a little bit of a road there with some fence. You'll be shooting through the fence. I shot at a 50 mil to get through the fence. There was still some fence visible in some spots, just like the dark shading of it, but it still worked out great. 50 mil, I would have preferred a little bit wider, to be honest, but I don't know if I would have been able to get all that much wider through the fence anyways. But you were able to get, of course, the car and the Ferris wheel. I got some amazing shots down there. The Ford one was particularly good, and the one that you saw for the thumbnail for this section of the LMP2 car spitting flames. You can't go wrong with the Ferris wheel shot. It's iconic. You've got to get it. Spot number 5, top of the grandstands. Another iconic shot that you have to get at Daytona. I decided to do something a little bit different. I know a bunch of photographers go down and stay where I was for the Ferris wheel shot, for the fireworks shot, but I didn't think I was going to have a very good view there, especially with all the credentialed photographers on the other side of the fence in front of me. So instead, I went up to the top of the grandstands. I went back kind of where I was for the start of the race, kind of the entry to the infield and where the exit is, kind of in between there, right up against the top. I was like as far as you could get up in the grandstands, and I did long exposures from there. It didn't really, you didn't get any cars or anything in the photos, but you got the feel of the fireworks. I shot at 50 mil again because that's the only prime lens I had wider than 70. In hindsight, I probably would have gone 16 to 35 or something. Try to get almost the whole track in the shot with the fireworks. I think that would have looked sweet. and it's a good alternative shot if you can't get above the credentialed photographers or if you aren't a credentialed photographer. Spot number 6, West Horseshoe at night. All right, and for this one, we are back at the entry to the West Horseshoe. You're going to go back to pretty much the same places you shot sunset from, but with this one, you'll be shooting hopefully flames coming out of the back of cars and the glowing brake rotors. Definitely one of the coolest effects you can get from night racing is the glowing rotors. You can't really get that during the day, but you can get that great at night, and I think it turns out brilliant, and this is one of the best places to shoot it from on the track. Spot number 7, in the paddock. The paddock or the garages is also a great place to wander and walk as well. This one's typically more for before the race, particularly Thursday or Friday are great times to wander it, see all the cars in action and see all the work going on. But during the race, you can wander it as well. I took a look there at night. You were able to see a couple crews working on cars that wrecked out of the race early, or a couple teams that had kind of just given up and were packing up for the race. So, always a good place to explore. Take a look. You might find something interesting. You might get some pretty cool shots. Spot number 8, NASCAR Turn 3. NASCAR Turn 3 might be a little bit out of the way, but it made for some great shots. I didn't go there during the race personally. I went there during Thursday and Friday, shot some MX-5s there, shot Michelin Pilot Challenge there, shot some other series there. It was really cool. Where I shot it from, you go pretty much through Turn 4 if you're parking in free parking. Up the road, you'll go into the tank camping section, and all the way back, there's a bathroom right near the fence for the track. You can go there. They had some cement blocks there, so I was able to stand on the cement blocks, shoot right over the fence, and it meant that I could get the Daytona logo in the background of the cars. Absolutely loved that. I think it's a great shot to get, and really cool. Spot number 9, West Horseshoe at sunrise. For sunrise, I recommend going back to the West Horseshoe. I know a lot of people love the International Horseshoe. I just find it very busy. The West Horseshoe was hardly busy at all, and I found I was able to get some great shots of there through the fencing. For this one though, you'll reverse sunset, so you'll go to the other side of the West Horseshoe. There's a bunch of RVs, but you'll find a spot with some pavement that goes straight to the fence, where it's like an access road onto the track. There won't be anybody parked there, so you can walk right up to it, shoot through the fence there. I found it a good place to shoot. There was a few people there, not very many. I was able to get some pretty easy access to it. And I came away with some pretty good sunrise shots. Not as good as my sunset shots, but still pretty good. And I'm sure if the sky's clear, you would get some spectacular shots from there. Spot number 10, on the banking. For our final spot, it's another sunrise shot, and it's on the bankings coming out of NASCAR Turn 2. For this one, you can go up by the lake, up by the Daytona Lake, I think it's called. There's a set of grandstands there, right by the back straight. You can get right up on top of it, shoot over the fence, and you can get some great photos of the cars coming off the banking in the sunrise with like the orangish sun still in the background. I think it's a great shot. Not as cool as other shots I've gotten, but still a great shot to get nonetheless. And last but not least, explore. Arguably one of the best ways to make the photos your own and get the most out of your Rolex 24 experience is to just explore. I gave you some great spots here, but I also highly recommend walking around the track yourself, looking for spots that I might not have thought of, other people might not have thought of, but you think could make a great shot. I know a lot of people go on top of the garages. There's rooftop there. You can get on top of there and shoot like super slow panning shots through the haulers and stuff. I didn't really love those shots that I got from there. I wasn't particularly good at it, so I didn't shoot there very long. If I would have shot there longer, maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more, but I didn't recommend it because I didn't really enjoy it all that much. But you could go up there. There's plenty of places. The track's so open to photographers and stuff, even behind the fence. If you can shoot through the fence, good. If you bring a step stool to shoot over the fence, even better. I didn't. I was lazy. I didn't want to carry it. But really, like, just explore, enjoy yourself, shoot as much as you can, shoot as many different places as you can. If you find other spots, feel free to put them down in the comments. If you've been to Daytona before and you have other recommendations for photographers that I didn't cover here, also feel free to put them down in the comments. I wanted to just give people an idea of some spots, because I know there wasn't really anything when I went last year for the first time, there wasn't really anything for me to say, oh, well, I can go there, or I can go there, or that's a really cool spot. So I figured I'd just make a video about it. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment if you like, and I'll hopefully be doing a few more of these from tracks that I've been to throughout the year. So stay tuned. There might be another track that you go to that I can give you some advice on. And with all that out of the way, I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.